All right, we're live here, 7th inning stretch. Big show for you. Trade deadline, post show. We got all these moves that were made in Major League Baseball. Mason Miller, not a day. We'll get into that. We'll get into Mr. Mays here in the comments. Go Padres, he said. David, appreciate you tuning in here. We'll get into that as well. Padres looking to be players as always at the deadline. My gosh, I gave the Mets a compliment last week, and they've lost 8 out of 9. The Yankees suck. Is the world actually right? There we go. Is the world right? We'll see where we're at. 7th inning stretch starts now. What'd you think, Tyler? Deadline. What was your or Logan? What was your thoughts of the deadline?
I want an apology from you because you and so many people were like, "Oh, this deadline's going to be crap. It's not going to be anything." And I was like, "You just watch, because the D-backs are going to be out of it. There's going to be other teams that are out of it, and they're going to get rid of." And lo and behold, Prophet Logan came out, and everything came out.
Hold on. Prophet Logan. Is this the same guy that 2 weeks ago hit me up with a text and said, "I think I finally believe in the Brewers"? All right, that's the same Prophet Logan.
I believe it, so it's coming.
So obviously Miller to the Padres was a big deal. Correa to the Astros at the end, that was kind of an odd one. There was obviously we had the Devers one at the end, at the beginning of kind of the July 4th. That basically came out. You think the Padres were the biggest winner in this, or because they got Miller and Hearn, Laureano, they got some good solid players, or do you think the Mets upgrading the bullpen, even though that hasn't paid off, or the Phillies getting Duran as well? Where's kind of your thoughts? The Mariners as well. What's your thoughts around the deadline? Winners, losers, kind of.
Yeah, I think the Mariners, they got their stuff done early, and it kind of went under the radar for them. So that was kind of I think they kind of had a sneaky great deadline. I mean, they got Suarez and Naylor, who's having a really great, really good offensive season. I don't necessarily want to call the Padres winners yet, and I'm not a big prospect hog, but I think they gave up way more than they should have for a Mason Miller or some of those other guys. And what I think, like it was 26 players that they traded, and they traded their 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 guys in the farm system for everyone that they got. And I was kind of shocked in the aftermath. I thought Ben Rice, who's been rumored to get traded, I thought Ben Rice, who's a catcher, first baseman, he would have been cool to go to the Padres for a Dylan Cease and probably some other guys. I'm not quick to jump on the Padres just yet, but Carlos Correa is also a weird one. $33 million going back to the Astros of that $103 million that's owed. Johan Duran is such a good pickup for them. Mets totally revamped their bullpen, and that's a huge thing because that was their biggest need. And I was kind of worried. I thought there's so many holes that it's going to be really hard to just fill them all, and they did. And so
I want to go back to the Padres real quick, though. I do. Before we kind of get off, because I don't think that wasn't where I was going, but you brought them up and you brought up some points I kind of wanted to, as I was thinking through the week as well with the Padres. Because what would you say ever since they signed Machado is where you got this vibe from them that they're all in? They've really pushed a lot of places, right? They went for Soto. No other team would have done that. They've really they're a front office that says, hey, we're going to get players now when we can, great players.
Yeah.
Baseball's a weird sport. It's not like basketball where usually that results in a championship. And right now, the chemistry for them hasn't been able to hit. I found it interesting with the Miller one. The A's gave up. I think he still has 4 years of control, maybe 3 years after this. So I heard there's rumors they might move him to a starter as well. Like I kind of I
Sorry,
personally thought
really
the Mason
quickly.
Miller trade was overrated.
Yeah.
I thought it was a little bit overrated. I know nothing about this 18-year-old that's a third prospect. You got to, right? Like, I know nothing really about him.
He's number 3 in all of MLB, so
that's what I mean, but I've never seen him
yeah.
play, so I can't be like, I can read all I want about it. He sounds like he's a stud, but I don't know. I just think the Padres, they're always going to send the message that they're there, but I don't know if this year they got the players that they actually needed to go over the top. I love Mason Miller. Like I said, went to the last game in Oakland, he got it, but or he got the save to close it out there. He's got great stuff, but I don't know. To win a World Series, it's hard for me to say that's a game changer.
And I think it's hard for me to justify sending your number 1 prospect, your number 3, and I think your number 8 prospects for Mason Miller. I can't remember.
Sears? I mean, if you got Springs, I'd totally get it, but not Sears.
But like for just a reliever in a sense. And I understand Mason Miller is really good, but
they might move him to starter, right? Isn't that what you're hearing?
I haven't heard that, but
that's what I keep hearing is they're moving him to the starter next year.
That would freak me out, honestly.
Because he came up with the A's as a starter.
Was he?
Yeah.
So that doesn't freak you out at all? Because I don't know Mason the starter.
Well, who was the guy in the Mets? The Mets got that you weren't a fan of. I was when they moved him over to starter. He was the closer for the Yankees.
Clay Holmes.
Oh, thank you. Miller. I mean, when you have a guy that throws that hard, I don't know. I mean, there is always going to be the risk with him injury-wise, I guess, regardless. So, but if you're going to get a guy that can throw a lot, would you rather have him go 5 or 6 innings or 1? I don't know. I guess that's the debate. I'd personally rather have the starter.
But to me, it's like I kept on hearing about how great Mason Miller was last year, and then he kind of fell off, right, in the second half of the season. And so I'm like, man, he only had 30 games that he pitched in. So
I mean his stuff is as nasty as it gets when he's on. Like he's literally out of 20 guys you would pick, you're like, for 1 inning, he's got to be up there in terms of stuff. But the reality is he can be inconsistent. And a fastball is a fastball. Like, he doesn't have the most movement on it compared to other guys that throw that hard. And I know that seems like a little thing, but when you're throwing 100 and like if those guys are that good hitting, any movement is gonna be the difference between something that's even 102 miles per hour. What was it last night? Like 103 miles per hour, and Gurriel still took him deep. I think they said it was the hardest pitch thrown in Major League Baseball history that they have recorded that was hit for a home run. So at 103.9, Gurriel went deep. Like that's a good badge of honor. If you're I would take that one. I would be like, all right, I'm wearing that one with pride. I hit 104.
And I'm thinking of like Jordan Hicks, and Jordan Hicks didn't have any of the command that Mason Miller has. But Jordan Hicks like insisted on being a starter. And he tried to start, and he still tried to throw 100 miles an hour, and he kept getting injured. And so he had to like slow himself down and go to like be satisfied with throwing 97, 98. And then like he kind of went off again, or he didn't really do well. I mean, he did well the first couple of starts, and then went back to
So just to end Miller here real quick, last year 104 strikeouts in 65 innings, and he only walked 21. He had an unreal year last year. He still ended up with a 2.49 ERA. Wasn't under 2, like that type of level. I do think the other closer though, that's a bigger deal, and I would say even if Miller went to the Phillies, I would have said it's a bigger deal because I think the Phillies needed a closer, and this guy's as elite as it gets. He has like Miller type stuff, right? Like. Maybe his stuff's even nastier than Miller. And I think that was low key. I kind of am starting to feel that might be the best deal of the deadline.
Yeah, Duran's pretty good. I really liked him. I was surprised he went to the Phillies. I thought the Mets were going to try to get him. But Mariners want to make the playoffs this year.
I'm going to write on what's up with your Mets real quick. Just to make it funnier there on a Wednesday night. Yeah, the Mariners going for it as well. They get Suarez and Naylor. Are you a big fan of the Suarez one, or is that one a little? Where do you feel on that one?
Naylor, I like. Suarez, I don't know. He wasn't particularly great in Seattle, and it's not a hitter's ballpark, so that's always weird to me whenever they have reunions like this. So, I was thinking, yeah, I don't know.
They're 2.5 games out. The Astros are not playing well right now.
Of course they're not, because
I mean,
I predicted prophecy from
Logan. What's our name? We got to get a good nickname for you, though. Like, like my local
Prophet, PhD Master Logan.
PhD on it, calling predictions. We won't mention. It's like you won't mention any of the other ones, but we'll catch all the positives here.
There was.
What
was the one that Nationals? I said the Nationals would be 500.
Yeah, you did. That's
not happening.
No, I'm sorry, Logan. I don't think that one's going to happen for you on that end of it. All right, so and then we talked about the Mets briefly as well. Those are just a few of the trades. What did you think of real quick, the Correa one though? Is that a desperate Astros situation? What's going on there?
That's a weird one for me.
It almost makes me seem like we made a mistake. Let's get you back. Like, I don't know. It's kind of an odd spot.
Yeah, I mean,
I guess the Twins selling.
It kind of sounds like the Astros knew that Correa had a no trade clause, and the Astros knew that that the Twins were trying to get rid of him, and it sounds like the only team that he was willing to go to was the Astros.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, it's kind of like they didn't want to get rid of him in the first place, but he was asking too much. So he goes to another place, and then he just gets paid. The team that paid him is paying a quarter of his salary for the rest of his contract.
I mean, a total salary down.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, and I think, it's kind of weird to me. I don't know. I mean, he just wasn't. It just didn't fit him going to.
They made the playoffs though that one year. They won a round.
Yeah, but it's just kind of.
He's an Astro. He went through the garbage can thing, right? Like that's where that's like the real true fan base that will actually like him. That's how I feel, anyways. Right? That's kind of my vibe I got from him. He chased the money in Minnesota. Minnesota liked him, but that wasn't probably their favorite player to ever root for of all time. That probably was it. And did you wish Minnesota did more too?
I was actually really happy.
You wanted Buxton out. You get this.
I thought Buxton should go. I thought the Twins would be stupid to keep him. But yeah, I mean, it sounded like even if they gave him a trade, then he was not going to accept that trade. But I want to go to Carlos real quick because I heard a story. I don't know if you heard it, but so he goes back to the Astros, and he's coming back as a third baseman.
All right.
And so I don't think he had ever played third base. And so they said in his first game, he makes a tremendous play at third, like a bad hop at Fenway. And he was able to make the play. Anyway, so they said, so how were you able to just adapt to third base so well? And he said he watched so much video on third baseman, and he noticed that at third they need to stay low so they can move, whereas at shortstop you need to stay high so you can work on the bounces or run wherever you need to. And so that was pretty interesting hearing him, who's one of the better. I mean, he won a platinum glove a couple years ago. He might have won it with the Twins. He won the platinum glove, and he's already playing third base greatly. So that was just some cool insights that I got from a position player.
And it's always good when you hear those nuggets in interviews like that. I saw an interview with Gary Sheffield recently, and man, what an interview! You're right. Those guys can provide that information with it. I kind of think with the Twins, I think it would have been too early for them to give up on like a Joe Ryan or something or Buxton. I still think you got to stay there because you got to. I mean, you're not that far off to where you shouldn't say I'm not trying to make the playoffs. Like I mean, that's my point, I guess, with them. It's like kind of the same thing I feel like with the Giants. It feels like they punted on the season, but they didn't like, you know what I mean? They didn't like totally throw in the white flag and trade everybody. And you can't do that when you just trade for Endeavors and you have Adames. It's like they just gave up like their regular kind of basic guys to get where they're at. The other team I just wanted to mention real quick in the deadline that surprised me was the Royals. They actually made more go for it moves than I thought they were going to. I'm not saying they were big moves. I thought they were going to sell though. And right, we were having this conversation a month ago saying they might sell. And I don't think the Guardians did enough. And they got screwed a little bit with the Clase deal, but I don't think they did enough at all.
Yeah, I was like the Bieber trade got kind of swept under the radar. Who was Juan, but that was kind of a long shot anyways. There was a couple of guys that you just thought, I mean, they have such a young team though that it's like, okay, that makes sense. All these guys have 5-6 years left. Jose is never going anywhere. He says he'll never leave Cleveland. So it's kind of interesting. The Twins are just kind of interesting in a sense that they needed to change. They needed to revamp their farm system and kind of create, just kind of start from scratch. And I thought maybe Byron Buxton is kind of hindering that. Joe Ryan I think they would have been open to getting rid of him, and it sounded like they were, but they just everyone was kind of either the Twins were overvaluing him or everyone else was undervaluing him. So
the Twins were very interesting with some of their moves that they made. They were one of the headline teams coming out of it just because of some of the stuff they weren't. It was some of the stuff you weren't expecting from them.
But I think they were big winners. They got 28 players. I think I heard. They got a lot of players.
They did get a lot. I thought the Yankees were also made some good moves. I thought they got the Duvall one. I always felt was overhyped. Being out here and watching the Giants a lot, I was like, the Yankees fans are going to hate this guy. They're going to come to hate this guy because he doesn't throw strikes enough, and they're just not going to. They're not going to be a fan. So I kind of thought they were getting a little overhyped. With like, we got 3 closers. I was like, I'll give you the Pirates guy Bender, but like other than that, we can go back to the deadline, but my God, they suck right now. Yeah. They're terrible. What is happening? The Red Sox blew by them. Are the Rays going to pass them?
Yeah, it's
Aaron Boone surviving this. Is he? If they miss the playoffs, no way.
That's kind of so. I saw an interview, and I meant to send it to you today. From Foul Territory, they were interviewing one of the Yankees guys, and he said that a couple years ago, he went. Like he talked to some of the scouts, and they said, the stuff that they're training the guys in A ball, AAA, and AA, they're the farm system. They're just not teaching them basics.
Yeah.
They're teaching them all about launch angle and how to hit the ball, and they're not really caring about anything else. Which I think you should focus on launch angle and you should focus on hitting, but you also need to focus on the fundamentals. And he said, Didi Gregorius went to had a rehab assignment in the minor leagues, and he came up and he literally told his teammates, he said, you would not believe the crap that's going on down in our farm system. And he said, it's just ridiculous over there. And so I think, you have guys like Jason Dominguez, who's a really good hitter, but he can't field the ball.
Man, their defense is pathetic. Did you see that pop-up today by Seager? It was like in left field. Okay, so if you like, it is what it is, but like Seager hits it in that like little spot between short, left, and center. but he hits it high in the air, and you can tell he's like frustrated as he's leaving the box. And the ball lands a good, like, I would say 15 feet between all three players. And I was like, what in the world is – and Rondon, they kind of cut to Rondon, and he's just like, I don't know if, like, maybe he wasn't thinking defense. Maybe he was thinking lucky hit. But I watched that. I'm just a casual fan. And I'm like, that's pretty bad. And, like, little things like that. And the errors they're making is terrible. Yeah. You can't blame it all on Judge. Are we? Is that what we're – I mean –
on Judge? No.
I mean, I'm saying he was injured, so he's missed a lot of these games. Oh. But I'm saying they can't depend on him. That's not a good sign if they can't win games without him. Because we saw last year when we got to the World Series, he didn't do anything and they lost. And their defense let them down. It's going to be the same things this year, it looks like.
Their base running was the big issues. And so, like, that's the big problem is, you know, a lot of Yankee fans, and maybe rightfully so, just because just the way Aaron Boone talks, he's not necessarily holding his players accountable. And so a lot of Yankee fans are wanting for him to be fired, and that may help. But there's an issue with not learning the fundamentals of baseball. There's you know, hey, if the ball is coming in a grounder towards the right fielder, where do I need to throw if there's two men on? There's, you know, the Jazz Chisholm thing, you know, yeah, he was trying to make a smart baseball play, but it came off wrong. And whenever you're playing horribly, that just looks stupid. And so, you know, like Aaron, they have all these great players, but, you know, I don't know necessarily how you change that. Like, there's fundamentals, and I'm like,
fire
why
Boone.
don't you have a meeting every day where you are saying, okay, let's run some baseball drills like we're in high school. Like, I don't understand why that doesn't, and I understand, like.
You think George would fire Boone by now? I mean, don't you think George would have Boone gone?
George, I think would fire he would have fired Boone a long time ago.
Yeah, I feel like he's the issue, Logan, and I'm not a rip on a coach person at all.
Right.
But something seems off. And you can say, well, they made the World Series last year, but this year at least, something, it's just not adding up a little bit. It's maybe his voice is getting stale. I don't know. Like, I'm just saying, it doesn't seem the norm.
My pushback would just be, you know, these guys are coming up like that. Anthony Volpe, Jason Dominguez, Oswaldo Peraza, some of these other guys.
They're not getting coached up. They're not getting coached up.
I don't think. I think it's an organizational problem, and so that's why I'm saying, like, even if you got rid of Boone, I don't think that's going to help. You know, that's going to turn the whole thing around. I think it's a developmental thing where they're saying, okay, well, we're just going to focus on your hitting, which maybe that's great, but we also need to focus on, hey, this is what you need to be. Your mindset needs to be on base running. Paul Goldschmidt is the greatest base runner in baseball history. If you haven't seen the video, there's a video of him being the greatest base runner. They actually
I'll have to watch it.
I think I showed you.
Is that a YouTube thing?
But yeah, it's on YouTube. And but like, if you had him teach everyone how to base run, what you need to be focused on, that would be great. That would help nice. A lot, because if it's not the offense, if the offense is firing on all cylinders, then the pitching is crap. If the pitching is great, then the offense is slow. And if for some miracle the offense and the pitching is great, then they lose on these errors and these baseball plays that, you know, I, as a dumb fan, just come out and I'm like, oh, I would have known how to do that. And so that's so weird. That it's so bad. And so I don't know if it's Aaron Boone's fault, but I think Aaron Boone does need to go. I think Skip Schumacher would be really cool, because Skip Schumacher is a defensive player. I think he would be really good for the Yankees and just turning that, at least the players who are already up to the majors, and saying, hey.
Could you imagine though the Yankees fired Aaron Boone and the next guy is Skip to my Lou Schumacher? That's who they would sign? I mean, it seems like doesn't seem like a big enough name for New York.
That honestly would be my guy, though, because Skip Schumacher is big on the fundamentals. That's what he talked about when he this first year with the Marlins, and I think if I was the general manager, if I was George Steinbrenner, I would say, okay, I need a fundamentals guy, and I need Skip Schumacher.
Do you think they would recycle, like go for an old coach that already had a job, or hire a new guy? Obviously, Schumacher, I know he already coached, but I'm just saying, like, honestly, that's who you would take. But thinking of how they're going to act too. I'm like, are they going to take a retread? Or are they going to, the Yankees? I'd be curious where they would go with that.
I thought Don Mattingly at first too. I don't know.
Stroman, yes, maybe they miss Marcus Stroman. That could be part of it, right? I don't think so. The Yankees front office hasn't helped Boone out either. You're right, but they did go out at the deadline. Yeah. We'll see what they happen there. I think it was some overrated moves that I said. Now, I'd be curious, David, when you say that, like, where are you in terms of what were the big mistakes that the front office made? Was it at the beginning of the year, deadline more? What are you thinking? Because Cole got hurt. They can't control that.
Yeah, I kind of put
Devin Williams
is not helping Boone. I think the front office has. I think Brian Cashman, he got Cody Bellinger, who's a great offensive and defensive player for them.
Yeah,
Paul Goldschmidt, who's a great defensive guy.
And it's hit well for him this year.
Who's being horrible for them? Devin Williams,
he's been one of my worst. He's on the hit list this year.
Now the
heck is his problem? He can't pitch.
Honestly, I think it's the pitching coach. I honestly, and I'm not big on the whole it's the pitching coach, but it doesn't make sense that pitchers who are great come to the Yankees organization and then all of a sudden crap the bed. And I don't know if they're just not used to the short porch or what. But
my only 2 cents on him, it would be just from watching him, because when he's on a fantasy team, you watch a player more. But so I've seen him pitch actually a lot this year. My 2 things are, the one thing I always thought about Williams was the changeup was electric. It was like a different pitch than anybody else had in the major leagues. I feel like with the Yankees, he doesn't have. It's like when I'm watching him pitch, I'm like, man, what happened to the guy that had this just like top 5 pitch in Major League Baseball? I feel like that's disappeared. Yeah, I could say he doesn't locate the fastball as well, but which is true, but I don't feel like his changeup is as nasty as it was when he first came up with the Brewers. Maybe I'm wrong. I'd be curious. It doesn't have that like just massive dive right.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe it's the injury.
It's weird for sure. And on the deadline, I think they had one of the better deadlines, even though all their trade acquisitions kind of crapped the bed this week. That they got all these guys for multiple years. Some of them for, 4 years. Soto was a red flag. Helped out Padres with King in the deal.
I got there. But some of their moves have been quite. Yeah. Showalter, yes. John Boy. What if they hired John Boy as the manager?
That would be interesting. John Boy and Jake.
They're not even watching the game. They're just watching the video on their iPad, like while the game's going on. I need to see that box. I need to see what's going on here.
Yeah,
that'd be funny if they did that. All right, just to kind of keep it moving with the Yankees, we got into them a little bit. I just want to bring up a couple teams real quick. Tigers and Rangers. I thought the Rangers might do a little bit more. They didn't. They got some big salaries. The Tigers did some little moves, but they definitely didn't go for it. Let's put it that way, the Tigers. So as they continue to kind of be not really sure, Logan, I'm losing confidence by the day.
They may have gone last year from being a bad team to a great team. And
that'd be hilarious. Miss the playoffs.
The best team, worst team.
So, miss the playoffs. They go the total opposite.
They really needed to have a good trade deadline, and maybe Eugenio Suarez was too much, but they needed a pitcher. They needed some guys, and they got a couple of guys, but they they didn't do make as big of a splash as they needed to, and so I think if I'm a Tigers fan, I'm a little disheartened. It's like, oh, this was such a great year for us, and then we could have gotten something to better our team, and we didn't. So it's I don't think it's so great in Tigerland right now.
Man, that would be so funny. That'd be such a baseball thing. You're like the only team ever to go that with that worst record to make the playoffs, and the very next year you're like you have the best record basically at the break, and yeah, you don't even make the play. That would be grim, and that's baseball karma if I ever seen it. David says here with the Yankees, Astros, and Detroit reeling, who is the power in the AL as their one? That's a good question. I was on the track of I really feel like the Blue Jays are the best team in the American League. I feel like their offense is I just feel like their offense is relentless. Like it just really they take quality at bats, not just like Guerrero. I talked about that signing there with it, and they're pitching well. Not maybe they don't have a Cy Young guy on it this year. I still like they have the guys to get the job done, and their bullpen's been solid the whole year. So I would take the Blue Jays if it was up to me. But right now they're the fourth favorite team in according to DraftKings. They have the Yankees or the Tigers are at plus 850, Yankees 900, Astros 950, and then the Blue Jays at 1100. So I would take David, to answer your question, I would take the Blue Jays. Who you got?
I kind of like the Red Sox lately.
What in the world is that? Tyler hit that one though. Got the Braves one wrong, but my God, you're right. The Braves unreal.
Yeah, the Red Sox are just doing really well.
Or the Red Sox, sorry.
I'm liking them. I think that kind of goes into like, I don't know if it was the last series between the Astros was them the Astros just being bad and the Red Sox taking advantage, but I think the Red Sox beat the team. So beat the team and
they signed Roman Anthony today to 8-year, $130 million, basically getting out of 4 years of kind of his free agency there with it. So but was it 5? Yeah. So kind of weird, they kind of been a weird franchise ever since they traded Betts. They've just been a little odd with some of their moves. That one started it, and even now with the Devers thing and all that, so a little odd.
Well, in his so he would have a club option for 2034, and his club option would be for $30 million, which in 10 years is probably going to be what the average player gets. And so I think that's going to be something that might work out for their favor. And so if they felt like trading Roman Anthony in 3-4 years, saying, hey, we don't have to eat any of his contract because he's basically making average here. It's crazy to think Toronto is the power, and I agree. But how close this last offseason?
They were close.
They come to blowing it all up.
They were.
They
were the talk of the town in trade deadline last year.
If they didn't extend Vladdy, I'm kind of curious if they. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what would have happened if they didn't sign Vladdy.
It would have been a whole different story.
Yeah, it was that weird to you that they traded for Bieber, the not Red Sox.
The Guardians. Yeah, no, I thought they needed another starter and more depth. Like I said, I like their bullpen, and I really like their offense. I think their offense is the best in the American League. Right now, Logan, it's funny to me. I see right now I'm looking at the odds here, and I said 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. The Blue Jays 9 and the Brewers are 11 on the odds list to make the World Series. And as of today, those two teams have the best record in Major League Baseball.
Yeah,
the Brewers are the first team to 70 wins right now, and they didn't do much at the deadline. I mean, that's crazy. The Brewers 70 wins.
I saw, we said that, and then as we started the show, I saw a notification that Andrew Vaughn got 2 home runs tonight, and I thought, oh yeah, he was a trade piece that they got.
Yeah.
And like, he's been unbelievable for them. He's been the best thing ever. And they got Shelby Miller and Jordan Montgomery, Jordan Montgomery is, he's out until next year, but those are some.
Who's the pitcher they got? Who's the guy? What's the pitcher they got that's been really good for them too earlier in the year? Gosh, I'm gonna look up his roster. It's gonna bother me. They just traded Painter. Is that who it is? I got somebody like that from the. I'm looking up on the roster right now. I'm on the website. They're at the you're right. They made that deadline. The Vaughn one, Perkins, the rookie, is who I was thinking of as well. He's been really good. He won Rookie of the Year or Rookie of the Month last week here with it. Let me see, pitching wise, who's the guy I'm thinking of? I got it. Priester. He's been unbelievable for that. Yeah, he's been great for him. So they get him, and those two guys have just been carrying the load between Vaughn. The one thing with Vaughn that's interesting to me is, he was a 3rd pick overall.
Yeah,
and it's a simple trade they make for because so was it Savali they traded? It is what it is, but like Vaughn had much more upside, and it's just the White Sox making a bad trade. I do think Vaughn needed a change of scenery. As somebody that followed him, like I said, I got the chance to coach him in Little League. I deserve no credit for his, but when I got to see him, I kind of not surprised with a better team that a guy like him that won Player of the Year in college and this. Like the Brewers are getting the number 3 overall pick right now, right? That's what you're literally getting right now for a month. We'll see if he can continue it. But when you say that was the best deadline move, it might be right now.
Yeah. Well, and Vaughn, a couple years ago, when the White Sox were great, he was awesome too.
Yeah.
And then they started being bad, and whenever you're surrounded by a bad team, that affects you as a hitter. And so that's always I thought, man, if he gets traded, he's going to do really well. I didn't know he was going to be great, but
no.
And Quinn Priester is funny because Quinn Priester was like the number 1 prospect for the Pirates a couple years ago, and then he got up, and the Pirates are horrible at pitching, so they traded him away to Boston, I think it was, and then Boston couldn't do anything with him, and the Brewers, lo and behold, they turned him into they have the number 1 prospect for the Pirates and the number 3 prospect.
It's kind of crazy how just those simple trades for them, and they get the Rookie of the Year, and that's why I liked them at the beginning of the year. They were the most stable in the division, I felt, roster wise, and they had obviously Vaughn, nobody's thinking, or Priester, but we'll see what happens there. I like David here. We talked about this a couple weeks ago. Me and you might be the only ones watching it, but we'll be there. I'd be up for that.
Back to the Rangers Brewers series.
Oh God, that would be Rangers D-back. No, please no Rangers. We don't want that this year.
Some of us have money on it.
Some of us have money on it. You got that. So who's more likely to make the World Series, Red Sox or Blue Jays?
Blue Jays.
Okay, so you're there with them on that end of it. I agree. Hey, I was gonna. No, not.
No, I was thinking it was hard for me because I'm like, Trevor Story's doing so well. Some of those guys are just doing really well, and then I'm like, the Blue Jays are a little bit more complete. So I was going back and forth on it. So
I wanted to kind of get into what 500 teams you think could still make the playoffs. So for me, it's always kind of fascinating this time of year. We're down to the final 2 months less, but you're at that point of the year where, okay, let's see out of all these teams that are 500 or right around there, which ones had a realistic chance to make the playoffs, like we mentioned with the Tigers, and with now there being so many spots available in the playoffs, we have a better chance for it. Here's a few of the screens. Brandon was good enough to make the graphics for us today. Appreciate that, Brandon. You making these graphics for us tonight on 7th inning stretch. You look at the teams that are there. What teams are you You got the Cardinals right at 500, of course. You got the Giants 1 game over. Royals are right there the same way. The Marlins, they've actually come on strong here in the second half. They're 56 and 57 as well. Royals right there. Guardians a couple games over. They're 4 games over. So what do you kind of make of some of these teams that are about 500 or any of these teams making the playoffs? And obviously put the Marlins on here as well.
I like the Rays. The Giants, I really thought that they would be buyers at the deadline, and I was kind of hoping that they would, but because they were still in it, but they just decided not to, and I think it was probably the smart move at the end of the day. But I honestly, I still like the Angels.
That's what David's saying here. Call me crazy, but it's Anaheim out of it. I have a weird feeling about it. Go ahead, Logan. Why?
Yeah, I've liked them for the whole year pretty much, and I don't think that they're going to be great in the playoffs if they go, but I don't know. I just don't know. There's something different about them. Maybe they have a fundamental thing. Ooh, Ron Washington to the Yankees would be cool. Turn that
would
team
be a
around.
good one.
But
like that one I would actually. Would you randomly think that or something?
Yeah, but I would say Tampa Bay and Angels. Tampa Bay were buyers at the deadline. They had a nice deadline, and they're definitely interested in winning this year. So, and they have a solid team. They're in a little bit of a weird spot right now, but in a kind of a dive, but they're doing well. St. Louis is dead to me. Kansas City, I don't care about you. And San Francisco, they're waiting until next year.
See, the Royals, I would actually believe in a little bit more than I think the Tampa Bay. But I think they have the better player, so it's hard for me to go against him. They might get Reagan's back. Those would be that I would lean towards the Royals just a little bit. But yeah, I get it.
Yeah, I don't know. They're lazy to me, so I'm like, I have no care in the world for them. So
yeah, I got out of that whatsoever. Yeah, so if you had to take the Marlins, though, to me, we didn't want to shout that out in terms of they've come out of nowhere. They have actually played pretty good recently, so we'll see where they end up. They're under 500, but they have played a little bit better. The Angels would be an interesting one. That definitely would be. Well, Brandon's got the schedules down here. The Cardinals have the 7th hardest schedule. Royals have the least hardest schedule, so we'll see. But my gut feeling is one of these teams maybe make the playoffs. That's, I guess, my point.
Well, the Cardinals just took the series from the Dodgers, so they're going to go to the World Series now.
First time since 2018, I saw. I couldn't believe it, Mr. Stone.
I remember that. I think that was a sweep in L.A.
There you go. So those are our 500 teams there with it. We talked about the Yankees, talked about the Red Sox in terms of like where they were in terms of we went through the playoffs. We hit on the Mets as well, the Astros. I don't know, anything else kind of around baseball. The only thing for me, too, I just wanted to mention, I guess, before I kind of totally lose my train of thought is Kyle Tucker has took a big dip here in the second half as well for the Cubs. Kind of watching the Cubs. They're still right there, obviously, with the Brewers. But honestly, me and you, I literally know about a month ago, we were like, or maybe it was 3 weeks even, we're like, this is the division the Cubs should win. I mean, don't get me wrong. The Brewers are putting pressure on them. There is no doubt about it. It's not like the Cubs are playing pathetic baseball by any means. But at 66 and 48, the Brewers better. Let's see. Come on, Brewers. Are we going to get 2 teams that might be close to 100 wins? Like, push yourselves a little bit. I kind of want to see the Cubs. That's the team for me right now where I'm like, what's that? Like, they're there, but come on. Let's go. Wake up. You got to get on board. The Brewers aren't losing. Stop losing.
And the Cubs kind of had a lackluster. They had a okay trade deadline. I mean, they got Willie Castro and Andrew Kitteridge, who had an immaculate inning this day, today. I mean,
yeah, I saw that.
But it was so But yeah, they really should be. And we thought at the beginning of the season Oh, they got Kyle Tucker. They got Ryan Presley. You know, they are trying to win, which has been different than the previous years where they were kind of like, oh, we got this one guy here, and we're just gonna act like we care about winning today. And it really never gave it, and none of the I don't think any of the fans were like, oh wow, we're World Series contenders. And then they went out and got Kyle Tucker, and they're like, okay, we're trying. There's an active push to actually win today or win this season. And so kind of the lackluster trade deadline, which was still good, but they still needed that one player. They could have gotten a Eugenio Suarez. They could have gotten they probably needed a starter. Sandy Alcantara.
Severino. Come on, call for Severino.
Yeah.
I think I called for him.
Did he?
Hey, I got one other thing I want to go with you as you're kind of bringing up names here. I got it from my 7th inning stretch here today. There we go. I'm in notes here with you. I wanted to get into like favorites. Looking at the odds. By no means, I am not a betting man at all because I don't even know how to get onto a online thing. But I got it. We talked about the odds. Aaron Judge right now sits, minus 220. Cal Raleigh 165. Ramirez Scooble 60-1 to pull it out. Is it Judge's to lose still at this point, or do you think Cal? I don't think Scooble or Ramirez have a chance at it. Or do you think there's somebody else maybe?
As of right now, I think it's still Judge's.
Gotta be, right?
But if next week he's not 100%, where like he has a kind of a rough week, I think it drastically changes it to Raleigh. Unless
especially with them playing so bad right now, too, right?
Yeah.
Like, what if the Mariners win the division and the Yankees don't even make the playoffs?
Yeah. And Judge getting injured, I mean, that to me, that hurts him.
Oh, absolutely.
Cal Raleigh, who should be more prone to an injury, has not been injured. So that's kind of just like, okay, well, what is like, it doesn't make any sense. So.
No, that one I have a hard time with on. I don't know. That one I think it's still going to be. I would still go Judge, but I think Cal has a great chance at it. NL MVP, Ohtani Armstrong by a mile.
No, I think Kyle Schwarber is the favorite now.
Really? Over Ohtani?
Oh no.
Somebody's going to vote him over. I'm with you. It was so I again, like I'm referring to our old shows, but we also added May a show as Schwarber the next David Ortiz. And I feel like that conversation it's continued as he's getting older, he's only getting better. And he hits clutch home runs. It's not just he hits home runs, he hits clutch ones. He still strikes out
close to 500. Like a couple of years ago, you wouldn't not have thought of him as a
not at all. Not at all. I wouldn't have thought of him. I wouldn't have thought of him at all in that situation. They also had Tatis in the top 4, and like I said, Pete Crow Armstrong. The Cy Young, Scooble, Crochet, DeGrom, Hunter Brown. Scooble's minus 600, Crochet's plus 450, and you got the DeGrom and Hunter Brown there, 35-1 and 40-1. Scoobles, right at the end of the day. 2 months left. Is he getting the votes again?
Yeah. I think he's the favorite. I can't think of anyone else off the top of my head. Where's Freed on that?
He's not on there. He's been bad lately. He's played himself out of it. I think the NLs where it's basically Skeens with Zach Wheeler. I think that's our closest race. I think that's our closest race. Maybe Judge Raleigh as well.
Yeah. I think. Man, Skeens had such a great July though. Like only 2 runs allowed in July.
I mean, Wheeler's been great though too, as you know.
Wheeler's my boy. He's in the Hall of Fame in a couple years, so.
And then you got Sanchez right behind him, and then you got Logan Webb there, 60-1, way out. So obviously, when I look at these names, though, my biggest takeaway is not as dominant with some of these names as you're used to along the way. So we'll see there.
Yeah, it's
an interesting list. 2 lefties on the AL. Go ahead.
If you had to pick between Skeens and Wheeler, who do you got?
I'm still taking Skeens right now.
Do you?
Wheeler's right there.
I think. Yeah, it's kind of hard for me to say that the future Hall of Famer Zach Wheeler is still second, but
and doesn't get it. It still doesn't get that Cy Young he's looking for. If there was any year to give it to him, this would be one. But we'll see. 2 months left. Injuries change a lot of this stuff, right? We're talking about that with Judge even going on missing 10 days. So we'll see. We'll see what the Pirates do with Skeens.
So with Skeens, because I'm thinking, because he was number 2 in Cy Young Awards, the voting last year. He didn't win Rookie of the Year, did he?
No.
That was Merrill, right?
Yep.
And so, like, he probably, if he had started the season, he probably would have won the Cy Young. If everything goes accordingly, he's going to win the Cy Young this year. Does that change your idea of Skeens now? Or, like, if he wins the Cy Young this year, his second year in the bigs, like, does that add anything to you? Or, like, are you just like, I already know that he was this good? Like,
He kind of would be on that Tim Lincecum type of track.
Yeah.
I mean, okay. Lincecum was dominant in minor leagues, right? Came up right away and was just ready to roll. Like dominant, and then he crashed out. Skeens is obviously a much bigger human being. We'll see if he can outlast. But you know what I mean? That's what it feels like to me right now. That's what it feels like.
A lot more normal of a windup too. So not trying to snap his neck and his back. So.
No. But electric, right? Like they were show stealers. And so that would be the guy I kind of look at. There was everything. Hey, somebody, I just randomly, as I'm thinking, somebody asked me the other day, and I thought it caught me out crazy. Like, who is the one athlete that impacted you? Like, impacted you the most, or it doesn't even have to be baseball. Just real quick, do you have a guy? Is it Ozzy? You didn't see him play though. No.
Stop.
Seriously.
Yeah. I can't even think of what his name was. I mean, Albert was definitely the guy I modeled my stance for, and like when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And he was kind of the guy who inspired me. I can't remember who the guy is who played second base, who made me want to be second baseman.
He played for the Cardinals?
No, there wasn't a good Cardinals second baseman, or shortstop, or catcher.
Pedroia?
No, it wasn't Pedroia. But anyways,
we know it wasn't Altuve. We know it wasn't.
He had such a big impact on my life, and I can't remember his name. But
what a guy!
Yeah, but it was. I'm going to keep guessing. To see it can't. Yeah, it was like somebody who had like he was such a power bat too, and it was like cool to see a power hitting second baseman, because I didn't think that was possible. Honestly,
can't be Utley, can't be Craig Biggio.
No,
Jeff Kent.
Maybe Jeff Kent. No, it's not Jeff.
If he's your hero, Logan, it's not a biggie. You got this guy down. Nick Kurtz is winning the Rookie of the Year. We know that,
right?
That's where they're. And then I think Drake Baldwin probably for the Braves is probably win the NL Rookie of the Year is my guess. Isaac Collins is making a little push here.
Mizrowski?
I think that injury.
Mizrowski eligible? I
think that injury kills him if he does have a chance.
Yeah.
Jorge can too. Got to.
Oh, that annoys me so much that I can't. I don't know why I'm blanking on
Did he bat right-handed or left-handed?
Yeah, he had to be a right-handed.
Because you batted right-handed. So it's not baby Brett Boone. It's not Jeff Kent. You're right. Those aren't the guys. It's not gonna. You said not Craig Biggio, not Chuck Knobloch. You going all the way back to Chuck? Can't go to Chuck Knobloch. We're not going to go there with him. Well, you'll think of it after the show. You'll think of it.
Yeah, I'm gonna be laying it in bed tonight. And I'm gonna be like, dang it!
I knew it. That's the guy. That's who I knew it was right there.
Don't worry, so I'll call you in the middle of the night whenever it's like 3 a.m.
Just send me the text.
Yeah,
just send me the text. See who it is. Robinson Cano. He's left-handed.
Yeah.
All right. So we got to go over the 500 teams. We got to the kind of the end there with that. My last thought, just kind of before we get to the end of the show here, is I'm very interested to see what division race takes off here, like in the last 2 months. Like, is it going to be that Astros, Mariners, AL West that's going to come down to the wire? Are the Red Sox going to push the Blue Jays? Are the Tigers falling out enough of it? Phillies, Mets are close. Like, even Brewers, Cubs. Like we actually have some division races on the line here with 2 months left, which is kind of nice.
Yeah, Brewers Cubs was just awesome the other day. I think they face each other a couple more times. That's going to be fun. I think the Mariners and Astros will be interesting for a little bit. I think the Astros are Susie, I hope you're not watching, but I think the Astros are on their way out. I've not liked them. They had a really good stretch, but I think their time is coming. East, the NL East, I don't know. I don't believe in the Mets as much, even with their new bullpen. I still don't believe in their rotation, and so the Phillies are just really good. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of really good potential. There's some important baseball being played these next 2 months. So I like that.
Yeah, that I am really interested if the Brewers and Blue Jays, like, we kind of talked them up, like who seriously, like who's going to hang on out of all those teams? You know what I mean? So I am kind of curious out of all those teams, like who's actually going to be able to hold on to make it a good like division race, which we kind of all want to see there with it as well. And you're out on the Cardinals completely. You think they're done, right? You said
they're dead to me. I'm a Brewers fan today and tomorrow.
You're a Brewers fan today and tomorrow. I like it.
My dad almost got abusive whenever I told him that I was a Brewers fan this year. So
yeah, don't show him Rookie of the Year, right? That's the team. That's the one you can't. That's the one you can't see with it. You don't want to show your dad that one. That's the one you don't want to see. So it was kind of interesting to me with the tomorrow when they got the first female umpiring tomorrow. I think Josh is happy about it. You see, that's the thing tomorrow too as well. They have that going on. MLB making it. I mean, it is what it is. That's cool. But just I love how it's a huge deal.
If they can do their job, great. I don't care if they. I will probably get angry because she's going to start messing up some balls and strikes, and I'm going to be like, "You idiot, get out of here! Bring in the automated ball strike system."
Give me that right now. I don't want it. Well, that happens in basketball. I've done that for a while now in that regard. All right. So I was thinking for trivia today, I would kind of test you on a little different area. So I was hoping I was hoping I could look at like who was the starting lineup for the National League, as many players as you can name. I can get my computer let's see if I can get my computer to work here. It's throwing me off here. That's why let me get this at MLB All-Star Game. All right, I want to know the starting lineup for the National League. How many names can you name that started in the National League? If you say American League, I'll give you some credit too. But if you give me the starting roster for the National League in 2013, how many guys can you name?
2013?
Yep.
Catcher, that might have been Yachty, right?
It was Yachty. Right.
Okay. Oh, am I supposed to tell you how many I think I can get?
Oh no.